actually one word I understood, Persian party, and I was like, oh, a Persian party, okay, بریم.
Well, you didn't come from, you're like, you didn't come with a shotor and you're from Tehran.
Yeah, so but like I was 13 also. I was.
میخواستم نشون بدم که خانم ها میتونن چنج ایجاد کنن، میتونن خودشون همه چیز رو به دست بگیرن و تا آخرم خیلی عالی پیش برن.
I have Iranian Zoroastrians there. I have Iranian the Jewish community. I have the Muslim community. I have the Armenian Iranian community. And it's crazy that we all just kind of turn everything off and we're like, we're here, we're living the moment. Let's all party. Let's have a good time. Let's remember our culture. And to me, that's so beautiful.
It's August 14, 2025. This is Rook. Hi there, welcome to episode 385 of Rook. I'm Jian Ghomeshi. Hello to you from Toronto. Hello to you from Canada. Salam Dustan Aziz, Durud Bar Shoma. Hope you're doing well wherever you're tuning in from around the world today. Today, a big announcement. On this show, a big announcement. The lineup for Rook Live 5. The lineup for Rook Live 5, I'm going to give this to you today. It's happening on October 2nd at the Richmond Hill Center for the Arts. It's finally here. We're going to reveal it in just a moment. Also on the program, an exclusive feature interview with one of the biggest names in the Persian music and entertainment scene, the Iranian-American DJ and producer known to a gazillion Iranians around the world as DJ Al. We'll talk about his journey, his sound, and how he's built a global audience. DJ Al here in the Rook studio, and later we'll be joined by two members of the all-female Iranian organizing team behind RAAVI. This is a one-day art and culture event coming to the Toronto area on September 7th, celebrating emerging talents in design and artisanal food and fashion and more. So the women of RAAVI will be here later in the show. But first, here we go. The Rook Live 5 lineup reveal. It is time for the big reveal. And if you're hearing this right now, you're part of the Rook family. Like you guys who are watching this on YouTube or listening on Apple or Spotify or SoundCloud, etc. You are our family. Because this announcement is for you. We're not putting this lineup up anywhere or out anywhere online on social media until next Monday, until Monday, August 18th at 9 a.m. Eastern. Next Monday, August 18th at 9 a.m. Eastern, that is when the tickets will officially go on sale. And that is when we will publicly announce the lineup for Rook Live 5. But right now, I'm going to give it to you. Rook Live 5 is happening Thursday, October 2nd, 2025 at a brand new, I like how we don't think this is public. but it's not. This is just, YouTube and SoundCloud and Telegram and Apple and Spotify and Castbox. Thursday, October 2nd, 2025, a brand new, bigger venue, the Richmond Hill Center for the Performing Arts. Now, those of you who live in the Greater Toronto area know that just north of Toronto, there's a city called Richmond Hill. It happens to be where a lot of Persians live. Happens to be not too far from where I grew up as a teenager. And there's a big theater there, the biggest theater in Richmond Hill. It's called the Richmond Hill Center for the Arts, for the Performing Arts. That is where Rook Live 5 is taking place this year, Thursday, October 2nd this year. Are you ready for the lineup? Should we do this, Super P? Here we go. This year, for Rook Live 5, the 5th edition of our show where we do Rook as a variety show in a live theater in front of a live audience, each time we do Rook Live, we present the Rook Media Icon Award. As you might know, for Rook Live 4, the awardee. The winner was Shohre Aghdashlu. For Rook Live 3, it was Shahbal Shahbare. This year, we're giving the Rook Media Icon Award. It will be presented to one of the greats, Iranian-Canadian guitar virtuoso and a hometown boy at this point. He's here in Toronto, Babak Amini. Babak Amini will be joining us on stage, and he will be the awardee of the Rook Media Icon Award for Rook Live 5. Joining Babak also as part of our show on stage. I'm very excited to have her in town and as part of Rook Live. I can't wait to have her at the desk for the interview, for the performance, and God knows, maybe she'll do some dancing. Beloved TV personality and anchor Shali Zomarodi will join us for Rook Live 5. Internationally acclaimed DJ, super nice guy, creative talent, the pride of Berlin, but also of the Iranian community around the world. Namito will be part of our show for Rook Live 5. The legendary musician, the incredible guitarist, the songwriter, the producer, the wonder Kaveh Yaghmaei will be part of Rook Live 5, performing with his band. Very excited to have him. Who do we have so far? Babak Amini, Shali Zomarodi, Namito, Kaveh Yaghmaei. How about one of the greatest Iranian dancers around the world? In fact, someone who's won awards for his hip-hop dancing, a young guy who's just blown it up around the world, a Norwegian Iranian who will be flying in for Rook Live 5, Navid Rezvani, joining us as part of Rook Live 5. I don't think he's ever actually performed in North America. I think he's mostly performed in Europe and obviously in the Middle East. So Navid Rezvani for the first time here in North America and certainly here in Toronto. We're so excited to have him as part of the show. The neuroscientist and social media star, Dr. Mashad Koladouzan. Mashad is she's quite brilliant. She does she does these videos that get hundreds of thousands or millions of views about the brain and about everything from brain fog to Alzheimer's. Will be wonderful to have her as part of the show. And finally, the rising singer-songwriter. She's the pride of Vancouver right now. She's coming into Toronto for this. If you haven't heard her voice yet, you will, and you'll certainly hear it as part of Rook Live 5. Rubina performing live as part of the lineup. That is the lineup for Rook Live 5. Babak, Shali, Kaveh, Namito, Mashad, Navid, and Rubina. We're so excited to have them all there. Here's the bonus, okay? We're announcing this to you right now so that you know that tickets go on sale. And sorry, let me do an oschai first. An apology to all of you around the world who are waiting for. We always get these notices saying, "Well, when are you going to do Rook Live in Calgary or in LA or in London?" We do intend to move the show eventually to do the live version of Rook in different cities. Right now, we're starting in Toronto, and we keep doing it at bigger theaters. So this one will be again in the Greater Toronto area. So apologies if you're not in the Greater Toronto area and it's too hard for you to come in for October 2nd. We will eventually get to you. But if you are in the Greater Toronto area, or if you're anywhere in Southern Ontario or upstate New York, or you can come in for October 2nd, here's the deal. This is the bonus. If you grab tickets for this show on the first day, in the first 24 hours that they're on sale, Monday, August 18th, you'll get a special early bird price. So we're not announcing this to everybody yet. The show, the lineup, and the tickets will be announced. The link will be available as of 9 a.m. That's when we're doing it publicly. Right now, I'm telling you, if you want to come, set your reminder for 9 a.m. Eastern, August 18th. That's next Monday. Rook Live 5 tickets will be on sale. You can go to our Instagram, where to keep up to date with this. It's at Rook Media. And we'll put the link up as soon as it's up. We'll make sure you know about it. This Monday, 9 a.m., tickets for Rook Live 5. In the first 24 hours that the tickets are on sale, you'll get a special discount early bird price. So go get them as of Monday. Rook Live 5, October 2nd. It's going to be a night to remember. We're very excited about this, and I'm just thrilled with the lineup. All these folks are going to be joining us. We look forward to seeing as many of you as can make it as well at the Richmond Hill Center for the Performing Arts, October 2nd. All right, let's get to our feature interview. let me get to my next feature guest here. He's not just behind the decks, he's behind a movement.
I'm trying to make it.
I'm trying to do an introduction, excuse me. For millions of young Iranians around the world, the name DJ Al is more than a beat drop or a party starter. He's the sound of a Saturday night. He's the pulse of a Persian wedding, the vibe of a new generation that lives between worlds, digital and real, Eastern roots, Western rhythm. As one of the most recognizable voices and talents on Radio Javan, DJ Al has become a central figure in shaping the soundscape of the Iranian diaspora, from chart-topping remixes to live shows that ignite dance floors from Dubai to LA. He's built a global community through music, all while, I believe, staying true to his Persian roots and staying ahead of the musical curve. Who is the man behind the mixes? How did he become a cross-cultural sensation, and how does he see his role in connecting Iranians through sound? He's been in Toronto to perform at the Iranian Food Festival. Nothing says DJing like food festivals. But right now, joining me here in the Rook studio is
Thank
DJ
you so
Al.
much, man.
Hello,
Thank
sir.
you for having me, man. First of all, sorry I came empty-handed because I was late.
خجالت نمی‌کشی؟
واقعا
اولین
خجالت
بار
می‌شم, as
که
you
you're
can
coming
tell.
here for the first time, you didn't bring me some sogati.
I wanted to, or else I would have been late and your next guest would have killed me. So I figured I'll get you a little gift later.
I thought some peste from San Diego.
Lavashak,
Lavashak.
falude.
But you see, we have all these things here in
It's
Toronto.
crazy, man.
You must be impressed by the size. I saw you at this food festival.
Yeah.
First of all, I thought you were remarkable. I'll get to that. But
Thank you.
But how about the fact that there's just, it's like, it really is Toronto here now.
It really is. So where I live in San Diego. And San Diego is like, got a good Iranian population, but they're so Americanized. Like we only have like 2 Persian stores and that's it. So we don't get to see these things. Like yesterday when I walked into the thing, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in Tehran all over again. And I haven't been back in 22 years. So
Right.
it really, every time I come to Toronto,
It's
it
crazy,
just makes
right?
me feel like home.
And
Yeah.
it keeps getting bigger. It's like,
Keeps getting better.
it's like, yeah.
love it.
I thought, let me just start by unsolicited fan mail to you. I thought you were great on
Thank you.
stage.
Thank you. It means
And
a
I
lot.
thought you were a guy who you really know your craft. And somehow you have the instinct. It's like all the greats, like it's like Sinatra or something. You know the audience that you're in front of and how to play to them without, I would say, losing your integrity. So this food festival, I mean, for those who don't live in the greater Toronto area, who are listening to us around the world, it's, it's one of these things where it's an outdoor event. It's a festival. It's an Iranian festival. There's a number of pavilions or booths that are, that have food. And then there's different sponsors or, a few different activities for kids, etc. And then there's a big stage. It's a very varied audience. There was old people, there were little kids, there were like divas, there was, everybody was there. So how do you even, and you won on stage within, I was like, this guy, within 5 or 10 minutes, you had everybody.
Yeah.
What do you walk into a scenario like that thinking?
So I always go into every event thinking, I don't know what I'm going to get. It's like a surprise box every time. You open it and then you realize what's in it. So then you decide, what do I do with it at this point, right? So it's one of those things, like I had no idea what I'm signing up for. I just showed up, I go on stage, I'm like, all right, sea of people. They clock that. I think they clicked like about over 50,000 people yesterday. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, there's kids, there's older people, there's parents, there's khales, amus, there's everybody there.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I can't be this like cool international festival DJ. This is my chance to connect with as many people as I can, from the young 7-8-year-old kids that are in the front all the way to like the khale that's sitting on the chair, like not wanting to get up because they're just tired. So my whole thing is, I always look at DJing more than just playing music. It's psychology. It's just connecting with people. It's really just being able to connect with them, even with just like eye contact or whatever it may be.
It was so interesting to me that, even the greatest bands in history, they have a set list, right?
Yep.
We're Oasis. We're going to go out with this. This is what we're starting with. Here's our middle ballad, and we're ending with this. I saw you right before you went on stage.
Yeah.
And I was like, how are you planning this? And you said, I don't know, I'm going to get up there and feel the crowd, it's quite remarkable. Obviously you have the facility. It's all in your hands. You don't have a band that has to adjust to whatever the next song is. But the fact that you felt that confident to be that improvisational and base this on the interactivity with the crowd was very interesting to me.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just years of doing this. 22 years. I know somebody that's watching this, they're probably like, who the hell is DJ Al? But I've been doing this for so long, man. I've done anything from weddings to festivals to small gatherings to nightclubs, some of the biggest clubs in the world. Like I'm the only Persian DJ that's a resident DJ within Las Vegas, some of the biggest nightclubs in the world with Tao Group. So like, you know, when you do all these different things, it's crazy. The night before I came here for this festival, I was literally doing a wedding, you know, with like 250 people. So then it's such a different thing, and that's why I love what I do, man. And I keep it diverse. I don't want to be this super artisty person that goes with like a set list and just plays like the same thing over and over again. I always like to just kind of go on and then read the room. And I think that's 90% of a DJ's job, honestly.
You maintained, when I say you maintain your integrity, it didn't feel like, with respect, because it's a noble profession being a wedding DJ, but it didn't feel like a wedding DJ. Like there was no element of like, I'm just going to get up and press the button for Andy and Kurus, you know, or whatever. You were like very, what you were doing was creative. What did you figure out about the audience within the first 5 minutes that would then determine your set list?
That they're just there to have a good time, and they don't care who's playing. Honestly, that could have been any other DJ. As long as they picked the right music and they were able to connect with the crowd, they probably would have got the same reaction. But my thing was, I'm here.
And you don't take that personally?
No, not at all.
You don't care if they're there for DJ Al or not?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I think this event didn't even do much promoting for me because per my own request, because I have another event coming up in Toronto on September 6th. So I was like, I don't want to be burning that event because that's like a ticketed event and tickets are a lot more expensive. So I didn't want it to be one of those things that people can come to this festival. I think it's free, or they only charge like $5 after 5 p.m. or whatever. So I didn't want it to burn that. So we did as little marketing as possible. But for me, it was like, let's give people a party. Like when I got on, I don't know if you heard me, I was like, all right, guys, let's get into it. Let's dive in. You know, let's have a good time.
Berin bala, I think you said a few times. Yeah.
Berin bala, bien pain. Do whatever you want. That's the whole point. You come, you have a good time. You never know what you're gonna get.
What is open format spinning?
So open format, great question. In the music world, you know, you'll have some DJs and producers that are like strictly EDM house music, for example. Then you have like hip hop DJs that only play hip hop, or you only have you have DJs that will only play like Persian music, and that's okay. But when we say open format, a lot of the music venues, from clubs to any of the music venues, they've kind of the whole playing one format, I feel like, has died down because when you start to see big EDM DJs do a feature with like a country singer, or when you see a Persian rapper doing a feature with like, rest in peace, like Farimah Nowroozi, then you're like, okay, now all these music elements are now joined together.
I see.
So an open format DJ is somebody who can get on, again, read the room. If I'm doing a venue and it's mostly hip hop crowd and they respond better to hip hop, then I'm playing a hip hop set.
You're not beholden to any particular genre.
Exactly.
Are there other DJs that are beholden to like that, who would look at you and think that this is somehow downgrading yourself or something?
Many. And that's okay, because my thing is, like, if they're going to call me a sellout for, you know, not playing to their format and what they like, I'm okay with that, because I just know that at that point my book of business is a lot larger, right? So I'm not tied to doing this many of a big pie. I'm not stuck with just a piece of it. I'm able to get into a Persian event. I'm getting into a hip hop show, get into an EDM show. I just did a big EDM festival in San Diego. So if you're able to do it,
what wouldn't you do?
I wouldn't do like rock shows, because I don't know the music. I don't understand it. I can't connect with it. I don't know if country music is big in Canada, but like in America, obviously country music is big. Yeah. I wouldn't do those. There's just certain types that if I don't understand the music, and I just did a full-on Yalla Habibi event on Friday. That's literally what it was called, and full-on Arabic. And I was like, I like Arabic music. I'm gonna prep for it. I'm gonna put on a show, and that's what we did. And like even the Arab DJs were like, "Damn, bro, you played a better Arabic set than many other Arabic
But
DJs.
there's nothing that somebody could come up to you and say, play this, that you would say, listen, I'm done with Dancing Queen. I'm not going to play that for you.
I think so. Funny you say that with the music elements in the world joining, all these things are possible now. I always tell my clients for private events, when they request something, I'm like, this is your event. This is not a DJ Al show, right? This is your show. I'm just happening to just be here and provide the soundtrack for it. So if that's what you want, I'll make it happen. It might not be the original version, but I'll make sure you get your Dancing Queen. You like Dancing Queen?
I actually think Dancing Queen is one of the greatest pop songs ever.
I agree too.
I think ABBA, if they just stick at it, they'll make it one day. ABBA,
I mean, isn't it? Where are they?
No, obviously they're one of the massive
Right.
groups of history. So I'm being sarcastic in the sense that everyone knows them and whatever.
Right.
But I still think they're underrated sometimes in terms
Yeah.
of, because people, growing up, at least when I was a kid,
I think their
I was
marketing
into
wasn't
punk
good.
and stuff. I didn't think they were cool.
Yeah.
My mom was into ABBA, but you look back at those songs and you go, these are just genius.
The production, I truly feel like the production many years back was just so much stronger. There was so much character and so much charisma to every record that you heard, right? So you could hear the love and the uniqueness of every element that was used. Nowadays, I feel like it's just producers are just playing, like, using the same sound banks. Barely anybody's creating their own sound, and it's a lot of things that are getting repetitive, right? So back then it wasn't like that. It was just like a lot of live instruments played a big role in all the tracks. Right now, almost 90% of the songs that you heard, there probably hasn't been a single live instrument on that record.
Well, yes and no. I feel like strangely there's a return to some live instrumentation and like based on people
soon
like
you're going to start seeing it.
Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo. These are bands. They're actually, so that's, and Oasis is on tour and blowing it up. So I mean, how did this begin? Let's go back to the start. You're an Iranian kid. Where did you first fall in love with music and then DJing?
So I moved to America in 2003. So when I moved here, growing up, I remember my mom had a factory. They used to produce like hair clips and hair ties, and so she had a bunch of women working for her. And I was very young. I was like 7-8 years old, and so at the end of the day, they would usually,
where were you?
I was back in Tehran. Yeah, they would always try to close out the day or once a week with just like a dance party in our home. And so I would just sit there and play tapes, and I would play from one song, and then while they're dancing, I would load up the next tape, and I knew how to like bring it to the right point, and I would put in the second player, and then so as soon as the song would end, I would just play the next one.
You had 2 cassette decks for some reason?
Well, it was like one of those stereos,
the double
blasters.
Or,
yeah. And so that's what I would do. And so then CDs came in, so I would do the same thing. At one point I had my PlayStation that I would play music from, and then I would also load up the next song on the stereo. So when the song would end, I would like switch the input to, literally that's
so you
what
were
I did.
literally DJing as a kid.
I mean,
in
I was,
Tehran.
it was like attaching songs together. And so, so I would always gather music, and I would burn so many CDs with one of my neighbors. And so when I came to America, I had brought a bunch of my CDs with me. That's pretty much all I brought.
So how old would you?
I was
have been
13.
You were 13 when you came here.
Yeah. So, so when I came here, I had all these Persian CDs with me, and I didn't know how to speak a word in English.
Really?
Zero.
Because I think of you as so American.
Thank you. I mean,
you don't have a heavy lahje. You're not like,
I think
I am DJing near the Starbucks.
No, my friend. I give the accent to somebody else. I left it behind. So then all the music I had, and then I met a great friend of mine. His name is Jahan. He's half Iranian, half American. His mother is Iranian, and he didn't speak a word in Farsi. And
so you moved to San Diego?
Yeah,
directly from Iran.
Correct. And so I didn't know how to connect with this kid, but he had just such a goofy, fun vibe. And so one day he called me. He's like, "Hey, bro, my brother is DJing a event at UCSC Persian Club. You want to come?" I didn't understand a word out of it. Actually, one word I understood, Persian party. And I was like, "Oh, Persian party? Okay, Benny." And so he was like, "Hey, CDs, bring your CDs, bring your CDs. I didn't understand anything else. I just understood CDs. So I was like, okay, cool. He's telling me there's a Persian party. Bring your CDs. Something, brother, something, DJ. I don't know what he said. No problem. I didn't know what a real DJ thing was. So anyways, I show up to this event with my CDs, and I love sharing this story. So I hope I try to make it as short as possible. But his brother started playing music. All these cool UCSC students, party like 700 people, packed. And then, so I go stand next to him. Remember, his brother.
How old are you at this point?
I was 13. Okay. It was right when I moved to America.
Wow. Persian kid straight off the plane.
Yeah, literally. Like, and then so I go and I'm handing him CDs. I'm like, play number 2. And then I'm like looking up into CDs. I'm like, here, play number 5 on this. And his brother, remember, if Jian is half Iranian and half white, his brother is also half Iranian, half white. But because their father, they were still connected to the Persian roots. So at one point, he's like, bro, you're essentially doing everything right now. So I'm going to go dance with my girlfriend. He grabs his girlfriend's hand, jumps down the stage, into the massive crowd, gone. I'm a 13-year-old kid. The DJ equipment is like literally like up to here. I could barely reach it. And so I'm like, all right, I got to figure it out. Wow. So I'm like, what is this? Like, I'm asking Jian. I'm like, Jian, ain't shit. And Jian comes up. He's like,
really though? You'd never seen headphones?
I didn't know why they were using a headphone. Like, and this might be a valid question for everybody. Just because you were around this, just
you didn't come from, you're like, you didn't come with a shotor and you're from Tehran.
Yeah,
so
but like I was 13 also. I was busy eating lavashak, bro.
Oh, yeah.
So and then and he's like, in this, in. So in my head, I'm like, okay, so he's saying that this is playing the song. With this, you load up the next song, so you hear what you're about to play. For those that might not know what that extra headphone is, that's what it is. You load up the next song in your headphones, so you know where to start from, whatever. I was like, okay, fair enough. So I just kind of figure out how to play one song, just fade it in, fade it out, nothing fancy, obviously.
I like how you think that people are listening to us on like Spotify or watching us on YouTube but haven't figured out what headphones are. Well, let me explain.
As a DJ,
for those who are watching who don't know what headphones are.
That's like somebody asking,
you're not at the food festival anymore.
That's like saying, what is this? Why does he have an iPad in front of him? They might not know.
That's true.
There's a reason.
Well, they probably know, but okay.
Yeah.
We have an educated audience.
Yeah. No, I'm sure we do. And so
that's an amazing story. So you're 13.
Yeah.
And it begins.
And that's how it was. And then the power went out. Because I had no idea what I'm doing. So I was so loud that I popped the fuse. Everything goes off. I'm getting booed. People are throwing stuff on the stage. 13 years old, bro. I'm like traumatized at this point. I'm like, what am I getting myself into? What happened here? And so, anyways, finally his brother, I asked Jian, I'm like, Jian was standing on the stage. I was like, Jian, what happened? Jian was like, I'll be right back. He's also gone. That's how I knew that friendship is real. And so finally they came up, they unplugged things and they got working. And then I was like, I need to recover from this. In my head, as a 13-year-old, I was like, the vibe is off. I need to recover. And so I ended up loading up Twin Zamune at the time. That was the biggest record. Baudar Khwarazmi had reproduced it, and it was so great. And
Never fails.
Bro, I played it as soon as the melody in the beginning hit. All of a sudden, bro, I still get goosebumps. I swear, the crowd, that venue just turned upside down. People screaming and going wild, and that's where everything sparked for me.
Wow!
And I was like, this is the moment. This is what I need to be doing. This is what I want to be doing. Because the joy that I saw, the control that you can have over the crowd, I was like, this is so cool. And that's where everything sparked.
That's it. I mean, part of the, I always say the part of the trick of life is knowing what you want to do.
Right.
You figured it out.
Oh, bro,
it's incredible.
After high school, crazy. While I was in high school, I was already touring. I was doing stuff outside of San Diego.
How did Radio Javan happen?
Funny story. Radio Javan and I used to bump heads because I was this young 17, 18-year-old kid who thought he's so cool because, I would go do shows and people would come show love. And so it kind of got into my head a little bit. So we were actually bumping heads over an event that we did in Vegas. And eventually a mutual friend came in and was like, hey, listen, these guys are doing great things. And you're doing really good things. So I need you guys to kind of put this thing behind you. I said, I don't want to deal with them. I'll deal with you. I'll send you my mixes, put it up on Radio Javan. I don't want to talk to these guys. Fast forward to about a year later, I went to DC to do a show for them. I was like, you know what, forget getting a hotel. I want to come stay with you guys. I stayed with the guys. Within the first 5 minutes, we're playing FIFA together. We're high-fiving each other, and we became like brothers. And fast forward to what, like 15 years later, we're still, all of us, we're like brothers. And I love the guys so much because they work so hard.
How do you, I mean, when did you figure out that you've sort of made it, that this is your career?
I
or have you? It sounds like you have.
So, yes, I think with the Persian market, the Iranians have showed me so much love, and here I want to say I appreciate every single one of them because truly they've changed my life. I mean, I could have been flipping burgers right now, or I could be selling cars, but I'm doing what I love doing the most because of the Iranian market, and I will forever owe it to them. And so when I realized that the Persian market has I've reached like a peak point with our limitations that we have, I figured that I got to break out to like the non-Persian market. And with the help of a few fantastic friends of mine, I ended up doing some American radio stuff and started doing some American club gigs. And where we're sitting right now, 21 years later of me DJing, I'm actually just starting from scratch all over again. Where I'm launching a new brand, a new alias. Deejay is going to live. Deejay is going to be here. But Al Tamar is going to be the new name and the new face that you're going to see. And I'm truly treating it like a brand new 17-year-old kid that's starting all over again.
Is Al Tamar the non-Iranian guy?
Al Tamar is going to be the more of a producer / like EDM artist, and not so much of an open format DJ. That one is going to be hopefully will gain the fans that would love the music, and those people will come out to hear that specific music that I have
So
made.
After your staunch and compelling defense of open format, you're now sort of launching something that's not open format.
It's not, but DJ Al is still going to be open format. So I get to.
I'm very defensive about DJ Al. I don't want to lose DJ Al.
Oh, I am too,
Right.
because that's my baby. That's like So Al Tamar is the new project.
Is your name Al?
It's Ali Reza. Ali Reza Tamar. So
And you felt like you had to anglicize it to be DJ Al? You couldn't
yeah,
be DJ
because
Ali Reza?
there was so many. Like even right now, you Google DJ Ali Reza, you probably get 55 of them, right? And even DJ, like the way I spell DJ is not just DJ, it's
right.
Deejay,
Right.
and then Al. Because DJ, the word DJ, disc jockey, when you spell it out, it's actually Deejay, but the derivation is DJ. So yeah, no, Al Tamar is gonna be the new project. I'm literally treating it like a little baby, like a new up and coming artist. I'm literally going to the same people that I've known in the music industry for a long time. I'm like, hey, can I get lunch with you? Hey, can you listen to my music? Like literally like a new artist, because that's kind of where I'm putting my eggs in that basket.
Energy for that. Let me ask you a bit about Iranian music and how you navigate being a DJ when it comes to Iranian music, because it's a very specific canon when it comes to the popular stuff that has a it's kind of an awful trajectory of what happens, where there's all this pop music, there's a flourishing, some would say, golden age of Iranian pop and dance music, etc., that in the 1970s, that suddenly comes to an end in 1979. The embers of the beginnings of things start to happen in LA for over the next decade or two. But as far as Iranian music, I think all genres, all ethnicities, or probably are nostalgic about their music. But when it comes to Iranian music, the early stuff means a lot, because either it's before the 1970s and there's so much nostalgia and so much attachment to that, or it's stuff that was very limited, the things that were happening in LA in the 1980s and the Shisha Hash in the 90s. And so there's almost a feeling, as I sort of spend most of my life outside of the Iranian community, when I'm at Iranian events, of thinking there's a feeling that you have to depend on those nostalgic hits, that always has to come back disproportionately than we would see. It's like a white audience needing Stairway to Heaven every time at the end. It used to be when we were kids, like And I wonder how you navigate that, the balance between Persian nostalgia and global trends, and the places that you want to go with the music that goes beyond the Abbey, you know?
Right. No, this is so cool. It's one of those questions that's a little bit more deep than just, hey, what do you do on your alone time or whatever. I think, some of it goes back to our culture. As Iranians, we're always attached to nostalgic stuff more than any other community and more than any other culture, I feel like. And let's not forget that some of the best production as far as music, lyrics, all that stuff was in that era of music that you said, like between like the 70s to like
age, yeah.
like, you know, early 90s even. And after that, I feel like the Persian music became a little bit more plastic. It became a little bit more not so. You don't feel the Iranian culture into our music as much anymore, and because a lot of us are very much attached to our roots, we automatically kind of gravitate towards that genre of music. We have some great things that are now starting to very much pop off. I remember you had Namito on this show, and I remember I watched the interview. That's kind of where I got introduced to you as your show, and I was like, this is so cool what he's doing. And Namito, for example, takes all these like old elements and turns them into this, you know, cool EDM house kind of remixes, and it kind of grabs the younger and the older audience. Yeah. So I think it's okay. I mean, even in American music, everybody is now, all of it, even hip hop artists are sampling things from like the 80s, from the 90s. But us Iranians, kullan mod قدیما رو بیشتر دوست داشتیم. به قدیم بیشتر میتونیم وصل بشیم. We just feel a lot more connected. And so because of that, and the music, I feel like just wasn't able to keep up at some point.
I mean, it was banned.
Like you said, yeah, exactly. So like the disconnect that you're talking about, that kind of threw everything back, and it kind of put everything on a dead stop. And then Iranians in LA started doing things a little bit, like all the Persian artists, they started doing all the things like the Shadam Shahperez and you know, Shadam Kashan is rest in peace. And
but do you feel like you have to always include an element of that?
I don't feel like I need to. If I'm trying to,
not that there's anything wrong.
No,
with it,
there's nothing wrong with that. No, not that I feel like I need to, because if I'm trying to build the next 2 generations to come along my journey with me, I might not need to, but why not? I feel like it's so beautiful, and the music was so good, and the lyrics were so good. I mean,
why not? Because every time you play Shahram Shahpereh, you're taking time away in your set from something newer you could be playing, including newer Iranian.
Sure, I feel like as somebody who is in touch with almost every new Iranian artist, with all due respect to them, I feel like a lot of this stuff, like I said, has been watered down. It's been watered down, just because the world of music has now shifted to the world of social media, and social media is not social media. It's basically you just give people something that they're going to engage with, and so just because a song makes it on social media, that doesn't mean that it's great music.
Let me ask the question in a different way. Do you feel?
Am I just going around your question?
No, you're not. No, I'm. It's a conversation. You know, DJs have a real, I feel, have a real prominence in Iranian culture these days.
Nowadays, yes, absolutely.
You know, maybe more so than in other cultures. I feel like DJ is very elevated, more so definitely than say the rock band or a rap artist or something like that to a certain extent. Do you feel like you have kind of a responsibility? Do you feel like an ambassador in some ways, especially in exile communities? Like, as a DJ, do you feel like you have to, like, is it just about fun, or is there something deeper happening on the dance floor that you have to represent?
So, no, I definitely feel responsible for this music thing, for the DJs, for the Iranian community to also level up and go with what's in the world. Like, the DJs in the Persian community have gotten a lot more attraction nowadays, but and I hate to say this, but there's a handful of us that are doing things on a much larger scale.
حرفه‌ای kind of
حرفه‌ای آره, that, and also نوآوری. Being,
I don't know what that word
نوآوری means
you had me a professional, but I don't know what نوآوری.
نوآوری means like being unique, bringing something new. Because if you were to just take everything else that a DJ Al has done or another Persian DJ has done, and you just keep replicating that, then what's going to happen is what happened to the music stuff that you're talking about. It all just started to sound the same. It all just started to feel the same. So there's a handful of us, and I had a buddy of mine actually come up to me at a friend's party, and he said, "I just want to let you know that we might not say it to you, but we as the Persian DJ community, we owe you a lot, because we feel like you've been able to open a lot of doors for us without even trying, for us to be able to see the big picture and want to do these things." And to me, that means the world, because if I can do that for our community, for my DJ friends, for me to inspire another 14-year-old kid who is being told by his parents to go to school and be a doctor, to follow their dreams and follow their passion.
You want to inspire them to drop out of school and not become a doctor.
Don't drop out of school. If you can do both, that's fantastic. But I truly believe that music and art is one of those things that you cannot neglect it. Because if you start to,
amen, brother,
so you start to do things, and then it starts to become, you end up neglecting either the music and then art side, or you're going to neglect something else on the side.
How many people do we know that they're fully grown adults, they're people in our age range or whatever, that are suppressed as humans because they, as especially Iranians, that because they couldn't follow that path and were streamlined into being some kind of living up to some expectation.
I mean, it's one of those things that I feel like you have to do it, and you have to put your all into it, or else you're just using it as hobby. For me, I never looked at it as a hobby. I looked at it as something that it's my life, it's my love, what I do. But at the same time, I realize that I need to be able to make a living out of this, and I've been so blessed to be able to do what I love. And that's like, honestly, right now, this is the third day. I've only slept like maybe 2 hours each night.
But you're so comfortable too, watching you on stage when you're very, I mean, it's confident.
The energy. It's the energy that the crowd gives you. For me, that's my state.
But the crowd's playing off you. If you were up there not being comfortable in your own skin,
of course,
the crowd wouldn't have that energy.
Of course, yeah. So I try to numb myself. Like, there's been times, like yesterday before I saw you, when you texted me and said, "I'm here," I was literally in the car with my laptop, and I was leaned back. I was resting. That was my way of resting. And when you saw me, I was like so dead. And then when I go on stage, I'm a firecracker.
Yes.
Because I try to numb myself all the way to the stage time. When I hit the stage, a different animal comes out of me. And then when I'm done, I'm dead until the next thing I have to do. So again, it all goes back to passion and love for what you're doing. And for me, I went to high school. I barely got my diploma in high school here. I actually finished a year late because I had the language barrier, right? When I moved to America, my freshman, sophomore year, I failed every class possible. And then my 11th year in high school, I was already DJing, so everything was just like falling apart. But then I just got my diploma, and that's it. I tried the whole community college thing in America. I was like, let me try this college thing a chance to make my mom and dad happy. And then 2 semesters in, I was like, this is not for me, man.
How do your mom and dad feel now?
My dad is okay with whatever. He's always been just whatever you do, whatever you want to do. My mom at first was a little concerned. Right now, she's still concerned. And the reason why she's concerned, because she's like, you don't sleep enough. You're always on the road. You're always on flights. It's like, I always have to like text her, "Mom, I've landed. I'm okay." So she's concerned about those things.
Also, the DJ culture, let's face it.
Oh, for sure. Well, so the thing is, as a child growing up, I had a very good relationship with both my mom and dad, especially with my mom. And one, I've never gone into drugs ever, ever. Alcohol,
Nothing.
I don't. No, zero.
Zero. You mean never tried it?
I tried weed one time, and I was like, this is not for me, because
Rohan, bring out the cocaine. I need you to try.
I've seen all this stuff. Remember, I'm around the industry that's full
no
of
good
this
for
stuff.
you, man. So we're resisting all of that
Goes
temptation
back,
around you.
Goes back to the love for what you do. My love for this industry is the music, is the crowd, is the.
And no drinking?
No, I don't drink alcohol.
Ever?
I hate it. I have taken a shot.
You're like Donald Trump.
No, I've taken a shot or two just to see what it feels like, what it tastes like, and I don't like it. I don't like the way it makes me feel. Like,
so your mom can't be afraid. She can't be worried.
No, but she's worried. I'm at a nightclub. We live in America, man, where it's like wild over there. Like, just shootings going off,
that's true
like
too,
people, it's like everybody has guns now. It's like you have a car, oh cool, so you must have a gun too. It's like that. It's like everybody has guns. It's like it's not a safe environment.
It's 3 a.m. and you're in some club.
So imagine like 3 a.m,
wasted
people are drunk. You know, somebody gets in a fight with somebody else. Bullet flying over your head. You know, anything could happen. But then again, stuff like that happens anyway.
Can I ask sort of a weird question? I don't mean to be disrespectful. How much each day? I mean, if you're a guitarist or a surgeon for that matter, you need to practice your chops. You know, you need to. And Bob Akamiani, our dear friend, still like 3 or 4 hours a day. He's doing this.
Right.
This guy in his 50s who's one of the guitar virtuoso, but he has to. How much do you need to practice being a DJ at this point, or is it? I mean, because I know this is not the way it is, but I mean the idea of it, the romantic idea, is that you just have this great life, and you know you go on stage for an hour and blow people away because you've got the technique now, and that's all you really need to worry about.
It's like letting anything just sit here for however long. If you don't dust it off, it's going to get dusty. It's not going to look pretty anymore. It's the same thing with my music, with my craft. I wasn't full on actually practicing every day. When I was doing radio, I did radio for 10 years.
Yeah.
And majority of it, I was live on the air every day at 5 p.m. No
In
matter
San
where
Diego.
I was. Wherever I was in the world, 5 p.m. I had to be live. It wasn't like now where you can pre-record things and syndicate it. And so that was technically my practice, which I would get yelled at by my boss because I would try to do cool tricks or whatever, and he'd be like, don't practice on the air. And so I was like, okay. So that was my practice. But then,
you were playing music.
Of course. And so, but then after that, I said, okay, well, I don't have this practice anymore per se every day. So I need to figure out what to do with my music stuff. That's where a lot of the production stuff came into picture, where I said, okay, I'm going to start producing music. Now that I have a little bit more free time, I'm going to produce the music. In the process of producing music, I'm going to start prepping more. So when you prep, that's technically your practice. You're putting records together, you're playing them together, and then so I started putting my 360 camera in the studio, and I just play.
So how often do you do that? Every day?
Honestly, I would be lying to you if I told you every day. I would love to say every day.
Don't lie to me.
But no, I don't lie. But about 3 times a week now,
Okay.
2 to 3 times a week, because remember, before every weekend, I get a little bit of practice, and it's muscle memory also for me. You know,
you know what you're doing.
We have a few different DJs. We have the kind that will press play, kind of fade it in, fade it out. Then we have like a real DJing skill where you're scratching and you're doing tricks, and you know you're doing the whole wiki thing. With that, it's all muscle memory. So if you're not practicing your muscles, no matter how buff you are, you're going to shrink, and you're not going to be same weight. So yeah, I still do practice just to kind of keep the hands warm.
How do you feel about? I mean, I don't have a lot of time with you here, but these are huge questions. But I mean, where are you at with AI right now? It as a musician, it's exciting, but it does freak me out that I went on one of these AI apps like last week, and I was like, yeah, write me an indie rock song, and this is the vibe, and these are the lyrics, and it spat it out, and I was like, man,
That's crazy, huh?
This used to take me weeks to write this and record this, right? So, and at the same time, I don't think it is completely replacing, what a band can do right now. But for you as a DJ, I've got to think that there's apps where I can now go on and say, just give me give me an hour of DJ Al, and I'll press a button and be you, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Two elements. You like I'm ready and I'm giving you the breakdown.
I like it. Yeah, you thought of that with this. I'm sure, yeah.
One, personality, AI can never replace. So you can get an AI app right now and give it 20 songs and say, I have a party, I need you to DJ these for me. And the AI app can start mixing them for you as you guys are all dancing, drinking, partying. Doesn't matter who's there or not. But when you have a personality, and this is what I encourage every DJ to do, especially the Iranian community, a lot of our DJs in the community don't show their personality. They're not able to sit here and have a full-on conversation with you because they're shy, or I think as a part of your job that for you to bring out the personality. So when you bring out the personality, then the AI cannot replace you, because people
not the performer in you. No,
people are not paying me to go play music for them just to play music for them. They're paying me because they wanted a personality there. They want somebody who can interact with the audience, get on the mic. If somebody does something stupid, clown them and do something fun, or it's all those elements, the live elements that are always going to be there. So that's one. Two, in terms of music, I think AI, realistically, technically AI has been around music for many years, in different formats and different ways, like
looping, drum machines, whatever. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So I think it's totally okay to use technology, but any AI produced song that I've heard, I can always tell it doesn't touch my soul. It doesn't tickle you the way an actual produced song does. Why? It goes back to number one, because the personality is not there. Not yet.
Maybe in 6 months.
Maybe in 6 months, a year, 10 years, it could do that.
I agree with you. Yeah.
But I feel like when I hear a guitar that's been played in the studio and has been put on a production, you could very much tell that this is not a plug-in in a software that you've told it what notes and it's playing it for you. Yeah. So, yeah, it might get to that artificial thing, but I think live is always going to have a different touch. Just like DJing, you could use your iPad right now, put on a AI DJ software thing, you could, but it's never going to be what Al can on the spot decide last night, oh, I'm playing this cool music for the younger generation, but wait, what about those khaleds? And then all of a sudden I'm playing like an old Moin song, I'm playing old whatever song, So personality, I think it goes back to that. I've just never been able to get, but it's okay to use the help of technology to be able to elevate. You're not your output.
To be Rook, you're not scared or worried for your career. I mean, worried about AI
right now. No, because by the time the AI cannot hold a mic and actually interact with the crowd, until then I'm okay.
The robots are coming. Be careful.
Yeah, it's okay.
A final question. By the way, I'm very much enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you.
I would. And we've been talking about doing this for a while.
Yeah.
And this has to be the beginning of a conversation because we didn't have you here that long. So we'll have to do this again.
Sure.
You promise me. But more of an omnibus question before I let you go, which is not an easy one necessarily. But you have such you're in a unique position to witness and interact with Iranians around the world through your DJ shows, Radio Javan. Weddings, Persian parties, Nowruz bashes, Yeah. You're part of a lot of communal rituals. What is something that you've learned or what have those events taught you about us?
That is a tough one. It's a good one though. I think the one thing that I love about our community and what I've learned is that I'll say it in Farsi and I'll say it in واقعا هر چقدر تو هر مشکلی باشیم تو هر دردی باشیم هنوز داخلمون یه لبخندی هست تو دلمون همیشه یه خوشحالی هست and that has always what has helped me in my career and in my life. No matter how upset I am about something, or how whatever the case may be, I still have a smile inside my heart that helps me drive and get away from for what that may be, the situation may be, at least for a little bit. And you might call it a band-aid, but that's okay, because that's how people heal. So us Iranians, we've learned how to heal with the different things that life has thrown our way. We've learned how to heal, and we're always going to be able to heal. Each one of us might tackle it differently, but we always find a way. There's many people in many other cultures that something has happened in their life, and fast forward to 20 years later, they still haven't been able to recover from it. There's still, their characters have changed so much. With us Iranians too, and it's crazy to me that, like, I feel like it's one of the only cultures, only the Iranian community, that when I do, for example, like a Persian New Year event in LA, I have Iranian Zoroastrians there. I have Iranian, the Jewish community. I have the Muslim community. I have the Armenian Iranian community. And it's crazy that we all just kind of turn everything off, and we're like, we're here, we're living the moment. Let's all party. Let's have a good time. Let's remember our culture. And to me, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. And we just enjoy. We're able to quickly turn things off, enjoy, and then we're also very much able to quickly turn it off and be sad when we need to be sad. And I feel like our community knows how to do that at the right times.
It's nice to have you here.
Thank you, brother.
Both
I appreciate
in the
you.
studio in
before
Toronto.
we wrap up, I do want to say a couple of things about you. Like I said,
I was hoping you would lead with this. But go ahead, yeah.
Well, you got so deep into it so quick. I didn't even get a chance to.
What do you want to say?
What I want to say is, as somebody who's watched many interviews, has seen so many of them, and when I messaged you, word for word is what I said to you. I said, I am beyond impressed the way you conduct your interviews, the way you ask your questions, the way you let your guests actually shine and speak and say what they need to say. And your show, I feel like, is so underrated right now. I know everybody knows, many Iranians have seen it, but I believe that this show needs to be the biggest podcast that in the Iranian community will ever exist. And I really hope that everyone comes together and pushes this show to their khaleds and amus and uncles and kids, and starts to show them what great interviews could be. So that way, I think you are leading that whole podcast in the interview world in the Persian community, and I appreciate you for that. I appreciate you giving me your time. And sorry, dast khali omadam. I'll bring you some kebab next time.
It's unforgivable, really. Let's face it. I mean, you know, I can't forgive you.
I know.
I'll never forget that.
But you know what? I'm still here tonight, so I might just pull up again at night. Be careful.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for
Great
having
to have
me.
you
I
here.
appreciate it, brother.
We'll do it again.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
keep doing this.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
DJ Al,
Thank you.
merci. This is Rook episode 385. So on September 7th of this year, in a couple of weeks, something special is happening in the Greater Toronto area. A celebration where art becomes a story, culture becomes a bridge, and every detail is a masterpiece. It's called RAAVI, a one-day art and culture event bringing together fashion, music, handmade treasures, live entertainment, culinary creations that tell their own tale. From 11 in the morning until 11 at night, it will fill La Primavera event space. This is just outside of Toronto here in Canada, with the work of designers, makers, performers. It's a pop-up style show, but with a mission to spotlight emerging Iranian and diaspora talent in design, food, fashion, and more, organized by a collective of Iranian women determined to give young creators the platform they deserve. Joining me today are two of the key people behind RAAVI, Farimah Nowroozi, founder of FamLuxy, which is an online boutique of limited edition handcrafted accessories. Each piece is a wearable work of art. Farimah has taken FamLuxy from Canada to Fashion Art Toronto, New York, Fashion Week, Miami Swim Week, and beyond, championing emerging artists. She's joined here in the studio by Arezoo Sadeghi, who is the co-founder of Two Art, a handcrafted arts and decor studio she runs with Eileen, her partner. They specialize in minimalist, one-of-a-kind paper mache pieces that bring both creativity and craftsmanship to any space. I've seen their work, and it's genuinely beautiful. We're going to talk about how RAAVI got started, the mission behind it, and what people can expect on September 7th, and the bigger conversation around opportunities for female Iranian creators around the world. Welcome, Farimah and Arezoo.
Thank you so much.
Did I say your names right? اوکی مرسی. شما دوست داری فارسی حرف بزنید؟ اوکی، پس ممکنه من سوال به زبان انگلیسی بپرسم، ولی هر چی راحت تره واسه شما. اول اینکه من اصلا نمیدونم origin story چیه، یعنی how did the idea for RAAVI come about و چرا شما فکر میکردی که why do we need, what gap is RAAVI filling that wasn't there before? Farimah, please tell me.
First of all, Jian, I want to say thank you for having RAAVI in Rook and for always supporting RAAVI. It means a lot to us.
Thank you.
And when I'm talking we are 5 brands and 6 ladies. FamLuxy, Jadeite Couture, Alia Pastry, Avers, and Two Arts. We are representative of all of them. But about the origin of RAAVI, we wanted one stage where culture and art could shine together. We kept meeting so many amazing artists, but no stage for them. That's why we thought about RAAVI.
خب مثلا ما که میبینیم این اخیراً فکر کنم توی مثلا تورنتو این ایونت ها رو میبینیم که مثلا آرتیست ها هستن، کالچر هستی، شما چی داری میکنی که چه فکری داشتی که مثلا متفاوت باشی تا اون برنامه های مثلا آرت اند کالچر که دیدیم توی تورنتو قبلا؟
As you know, Toronto is a big city.
من حالا سوالا رو فارسی حرف میزنم، شما انگلیسی جواب میدید. اینو میتونی فارسی به فارسی جواب بدید.
ببینین توی تورنتو خب خیلی ایونت هستش. اولا که همه آرتیست ها چون شهر خیلی بزرگه و شانس اینو رو ندارن که بتونن توی خیلی از ایونت ها حضور پیدا کنن، حالا به دلایل مختلف. ما سعی میکنیم که آرتیست هایی که کاراشون بسیار خوبه ولی هنوز دیده نشدن رو در واقع این شانس رو بهشون بدیم، کمکشون کنیم که بیان در راوی. و راوی مجموعه هستش، نه فقط پرسن چیزای مثل فشن، جولری، نه، راوی مجموعه هستش از هوم دکور، حتی غذا و همه اینها یه مجموعه میشن که تمام کسایی که توی کار خودشون بهترینشون رو دارن نشون میدن و هنوز اونقدر که باید شاید دیده نشدن توی یک محل نشون داده بشن.
آرزو، وقتی که when you guys were starting this idea of RAAVI, when it was a baby, I think you've done it 2 or 3 times now. What was the conversation you were having? به هم دیگه چی میگفتین که این idea this idea was born?
اصلا جمع شدن ما دوره هم خودش داستانش خیلی جالب بود، چون هممون توی جای که یه ایونتی برای آرت بود، همه با آشنایی که از قبل با هم داشتیم، ولی اونجا ما رو خیلی به هم نزدیک کرد و دیدیم چقدر کارامون از نظر هنری و اینکه کار دست هممون، ایده هامون، دیدگاهمون با هم یکیه. و بخش بزرگ راوی اینه که جنبه بیزینسی رو کنار گذاشتیم و واقعا همه تلاشمون اینه که تو این دنیایی که الان خیلی داره میره به سمت صنعتی، خیلی همه چی داره فراموش میشه، مخصوصا فرهنگ‌ها، حالا چه فرهنگ ما چه کشورهای دیگه، راوی داستانی یه جایگاهی بشه برای اینکه یه پلی بشه که این فرهنگو به تورنتو و حتی هر جای دنیا نشون بدیم به نسل جدید.
فرهنگ ایرانی
و آرتو، هنر رو، نه فقط هنر ایرانی، حالا میتونه غیر ایرانی هم باشه، ولی هنر کاری که با دست همیشه شده، پر از عشق توش، خیلی داره فراموش میشه ژیان جان. حتی تو خونه ها که میری نگاه میکنی میبینی خیلی کمتر پیدا میشه که مثلا یه پیس آرت ببینی توی مثلا یه خونه. ما خیلی دوست داریم اونو زنده کنیم. حالا این هنر میتونه تو هر چیزی باشه، میتونه تو غذا باشه، میتونه تو لباس باشه، میتونه تو حتی دیزاین کردن لباست، یعنی سبک لباس پوشیدنت باشه، تو شیرینی باشه.
ولی باید، یعنی the focus is on artisanal، یعنی مثلا homemade not homemade ولی not mass produced. Is that the idea?
You means limited edition.
Was that the way you say
Yeah.
it? Limited edition.
Yeah.
آره. این اسم راوی از کجا میاد؟
In Persian or English?
Whatever's comfortable. Go ahead.
راوی یعنی قصه گو و در فارسی ما بیشتر میگیم طرف راوی قصه میگه و ما به این باور داریم که تمام کسایی که کارهای هنری میکنن برای کاراشون یه قصه ای دارن و در واقع ما در راوی این هنرمندا رو کنار هم میاریم که با هم با یک صدا یک متن زیبا رو مثل یک کتاب زیبا اونجا ارائه میشه، یک کار هنری زیبا اونجا ارائه میشه.
You talked about this not being just an exhibition, but a platform for emerging talent. What does that mean in practice? How do you do that?
ما باور داریم که راوی یک پلتفرمه، به خاطر اینکه خب راوی جایی هستش که من همیشه هم گفتم فقط جای فروش نیست. شما در راوی کانکت میشین با آدم ها، گرو میکنین و کار شما میدرخشه و اثر بعدیش اینه که long term after راوی هر کسی که اونجا هست در واقع خاطرش میمونه برای مردم، به خاطر اینکه همه کانکت میشن با آدم ها، حتی خود آرتیست ها با هم کانکت میشن. همونجور که آرزوشون گفتن، خب اینکه چجوری اصلا اعضای راوی شکل گرفتن این بودش که حالا ما به واسطه کارمون توی مجموعه بودیم و خب خیلی راحت تونستیم با هم دیگه کانکت بشیم و ادامه بدیم.
It's not, I mean it's quite clear. اگر همون شماها که میبینیم، همون تیم شما رو میبینیم و داستانتون رو میدونیم، حتی I've been to the last RAAVI event, it's clear that it's a collective of women running this. It's
almost.
There's some men involved?
No, in RAAVI, no. But
No.
for I mean,
men are allowed to
Expo,
come and be
so many.
yes, you include men in the audience. ولی
اسپانسر میتونن بشن آقایون، خیلی خوشحال میشیم.
چرا? Tell me about why you wanted to do this as Iranian women. Arezoo.
آقای جیان، حالا تو کشور خودمونم نمیخوام بگم فقط ایران، ولی خانوم ها معمولا، من خودم رو میگم، خیلی کارها بلد بودم ولی جسارت این که بخوام توی یه جایی نمایشش بدم یا به عنوان یه کار بهش نگاه کنم و نداشتم. اینجا یه کمی فضا برام بازتر شد و خب آشنایی با آیلین، فریما جون، آلیا جون، حالا آزین، نازنین، اینا همه به من یه قدرتی داد، خودم شخصا رو میگم که اینم میتونه، چرا هنر خودش قشنگه، میتونه کار باشه، همه کارا نباید کارایی باشه که ما دوست نداریم یا با روحمون سازگار نیست و مجبوریم که انجامش بدیم. و اینکه دیدم نسبت به هنر عوض کردم واقعا. مثلا همیشه فکر می‌کردم یک کاریه که فقط باید بر خودم انجامش بدم یا حتی فکر کنم دوستامم همینطور، ولی الان میگم دوست دارم، یعنی هممون دوست داریم همه اینو ببینن، همه ازش لذت ببرن، همه به عنوان یه واقعیت بپذیرنش و خب خانوما یه کمی نسبت به روحیاتشون فکر کنم خیلی این کارو بیشتر دوست داشته باشن انجام بدن. راوی این فرصت رو ایجاد میکنه که تمام خانومایی که این جسارت رو نداشتن یا این فرصت رو نداشتن این فرصت رو داشته باشن، حتی اگه کارشون خیلی کوچیک باشه از نظر خودشون میتونن بیان اونو نشون بدن. ما دست به دست هم میدیم، کمک میکنیم که بزرگش کنیم و هر روز این خانواده بزرگ و بزرگتر بشه و همدیگر رو ساپورت کنیم و مخصوصا هنرمندای ایرانی ها. یعنی همونجوری که میدونی فریما جون، ما خودمون بچه ها خب خیلی از آرتیست های ایرانی هم توی ایونت کار داریم.
همین سوال واسه شما فریما جون.
ببینین من فکر میکنم که من همیشه تو ذهنم این هست که خانوم ها قادر هستن که کارهای خیلی بزرگ انجام بدن، حالا تو هر زمینه‌ای. و تو جایی که خودم میتونستم در واقع نشون بدم، خواستم بگم که راوی خب برقرار کردن و ارگانایز کردن یه همچین ایونتی واقعا کار خیلی سختیه و میخواستم نشون بدم که خانم ها میتونن چنج ایجاد کنن، میتونن خودشون همه چیز رو به دست بگیرن و تا آخرم خیلی عالی پیش برن، چون ما وسواسمون واقعا خیلی زیاده و ایونت راوی یا به قولی اکسپو خیلی خیلی متفاوت هستش و کاملا جمعیتی که میان این رو احساس میکنن.
You talked earlier about the diversity of RAAVI, artisanal foods, people who bake things, and then fashion designs, and then pieces of handmade art, paper mache. You know, it's wonderful, that kind of variety. It's also a little confusing for an audience that might be coming and going, خب این چیه؟ این چی کار داریم میکنه؟ There's all these different things there. How do you contend with this idea of meshing all of these different creative fields together for an audience to understand what RAAVI is?
ببین ما میخوایم که کسایی که میان راوی از همه حواسشون بتونن، یعنی منظورم سنسشون، از همه حواسشون استفاده کنن، غذای خوب رو بچشن، هندمید دیزاینا رو تاچ کنن و آرت رو ببینن و در کنارش با توجه به لایف میوزیک و لایف پینتینگ آرت، همه اینا در واقع مجموعه میشه که کسی که وارد راوی میشه انگار با همه وجودش هنر رو احساس میکنه تو هر زمینه.
خب آرزو وقتی میگی که این بیزنس نیست، یعنی فکر اولتون is not to make money, you know, ولی باید you have to keep it going. Business plan چیه؟ و که مثلا it's wonderful to have this idea to support, and there's no ticket price or anything, right?
It's free.
خب this goes back to sponsorship, is that the idea?
Yes. خب ما این فضا رو فراهم میکنیم در اینکه یه روزی همه میان، خب برای همه جور سلیقه هم اونجا همه چی هستش، ولی این فضا برای اینکه یه کسی هم بخواد بیزینسش رو معرفی کنه و خب بالاخره از اون ایونت کانکشن بگیره، اون فضا هم برای اونا مهیا که خب خیلی ها لطف کردن، واقعا همیشه ما رو ساپورت کردن، کنارمون بودن، از جمله خود شما، و اینکه این فضا هم برای اونا هست.
من که واسه غذا میام هر جایی برم واسه غذا.
بعد خب همون برای غذا میایم ولی کارهای دیگه هم میبینید و آدمای دیگه شما رو میبینن. اون میشه یه کانکشنی که اون کسی که فقط از توی سوشال میدیا شما رو میدیده و شاید خیلی دوست داشته باشه با شما صحبت کنه، حالا به هر دلیلی اونجا یه جایی هستش که همه آدما میتونن اونجا با همدیگه ارتباط برقرار کنن، در مورد بیزینسشون صحبت کنن، ما رو هم ساپورت کنن که ما هم بتونیم به کمک اونا این رویداد و پابرجا نگه داریم و بتونیم به هم دیگه کمک کنیم.
وقتی که میگی شما آرزو که دوست داری you want to explore and celebrate and bring to the fore Iranian culture, Iranian designs, Iranian, some of which will be in our history, right? How do you, I mean, this is a perennial question that a lot of us face. You would ask a similar question of Namito. How do you mix, you want to bring things from the past that are Iranian, how do you make it progressive and new? How do you mix that, wanting to bring that flavor, but wanting to encourage innovation and modern expression in the works that are showcased at RAAVI?
یه گروهی داریم، توی اون گروه ما همه چی رو بررسی میکنیم. اول خودمون، این فرصت داده میشه که توی اون گروه خیلی ها رو اضافه میکنیم، اد میکنیم. حالا از توی اون گروه آدما میتونن نسبت به نیازشون، نسبت به خواستشون انتخاب کنن که چه فضایی اونجا میخوان داشته باشن. اینطوری ما جدا نکردیم چیزا رو که یعنی فقط فرهنگ ایرانی باشه یا فقط یه کار مدرن باشه یا سنتی باشه. اینطوری همه میتونیم در کنار همدیگه باشیم با چیزای مختلف. نمیتونم
I think heritage and innovation dance together.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, yeah. And
how? I mean, not always.
You know why? Because they do various, for example,
To art?
To arts. They do very beautiful art piece in modern way,
Yeah.
but they make it with hands, same as before.
I see. The actual creation is part of the tradition.
Exactly. And even in my field.
Well, I was thinking about this question with FamLuxy. This is because you always bring these Iranian flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
But people don't want to only wear things that feel like historic pieces.
No,
right?
there's not only there's not only historic. No, we have very, very unique pieces, very modern, but all with handmade in the traditional way. That's I'm telling you, heritage and innovation dance together. That's why the piece will be unique.
I love the handmade nature of this. What you guys,
almost everything.
The festival. Although you call it limited edition.
Yes.
Instead of
handmade.
handmade.
You know, because whatever you made.
Don't hit the table. So you can't. You don't have headphones on.
You can
so the table makes noise.
Because of my ring. When you make some things with hands, then it never happened to make same again with hands, because it's not machine, it's handmade.
حتی مثلا perfect نباشه بهتره اصلا. It's not cookie cutter.
و جیان جان، از نظر من آدما وقتی خودشون فکر دارن میان یه چیزی رو انتخاب میکنن، مثل دکور، مثل لباس، مثل اکسسوری. نمیری همش فالو کنی که مد چیه یا الان چه برندی چی زده. اینا همه تو پشتش فکره. وقتی شروع میکنی به ساخته یه چیزی، واقعا حالا چه یه پیس کوچیک باشه چه یه خوراکی باشه، حتی اون چیزی که تو بهش اضافه میکنی اونو تغییر میده، بس میشه خیلی چیز خاصی. و میگم این گروه برای این تشکیل شده که حالا اونی که میخواد کار مدرن کنه، اونی که هرچی یه میکسی از همه ایناست و این خیلی جالبش میکنه.
من واقعا چون که من دوست دارم اینی که داری فکر آرتیست داره میکنی، حمایت آرتیست های جوان، میشنت این کاره. You guys want to do that. خیلی دوست دارم کارتونو. ولی I think the reason why a lot of people don't do this, what you're doing, is because it's not easy.
It's too much work. Too much cost.
Challenges چیه؟
It's too much work, too much cost, too lot opinion and passions. But you know, we love that. It makes RAAVI unique.
What are the opinions? Tell me about the too many opinions.
You know,
you guys are a collective, right? You're a democracy. Yani there's no leader. Are you the leader? ولی مثلا تو میتونی بگی همه باید گوش کنن؟
باید نداریم. من فقط پیشنهادم میدم ولی دوستان لطف دارن اکثرا قبول میکنن. ولی بایدی وجود نداره. همه نظرات خودشون.
دموکراسی سخته.
ولی خدا رو شکر همه خیلی واقعا خیلی نظراتون به هم نزدیکه. من فقط یه چیزی میخوام بگم برای دوستانی که میشنون این اینترویو رو. یه جمله میخوام اضافه بکنم به اون مسئله‌ای که گفتین که از لحاظ مالی مثلا چه اتفاقی میفته وقتی میگین ما هدفمون نبوده. ما در انتخاب برندها حتی اسپانسرهامون بسیار دقیق هستیم و شاید برای همینی که به قول معروف پول زیادی نمیسازیم، چون که یعنی خیلی وقتا اصلا احساس میکنیم که برای ما سنگینه. چون اگه ما هم میخواستیم که از یه لولی بیایم پایین تر، شاید میتونستیم مثلا یه جای خیلی بزرگ با هزینه کمتر. ما حتی در انتخاب جامون هم خیلی وسواس به خرج میدیم، چون دوست داریم یه محیطی باشه. من همیشه این جمله رو میگم، یه محیطی باشه که وندور، اسپانسور، ویزیتور، آرتیست همه از در خوشحال برن بیرون. کار خیلی سختیه ولی واقعا تلاشمون رو میکنیم.
اونایی که امیدوارم که اونایی که میتونن، یعنی if they're in the greater Toronto area بیان اون September 7th یه روز فقط هست. راوی چی میبینن اونجا بیان؟
خیلی چیزای خوب.
مثلا
میتونن برای آرت بیان، میتونن در واقع من همیشه اینو میگم بیان اونجا لذت ببرن با کلی اینترتینمنتی که فقط ما اونجا داریم. لایو میوزیک داریم، کلی آرتیست هایی مثل تاتو آرتیست، وایت هنا آرتیست، even piercing. we have piercing artist و کلی کارهای هنرمندا، آرتیست هایی که واقعا برای کارشون حمایت، یعنی نیاز به حمایت دارن و غذاهای خیلی خوشمزه، درینک های خیلی خوشمزه. من میتونم به جرئت اینو بهتون قول بدم با توجه به فضایی که ما داریم، دوستانی که 7 سپتامبر میان پیش ما یک روز تابستانی رو در آخر تابستان با کلی خاطره های خوب که اونجا ساختن به خونه میبرن و علاوه بر اون تو دستاشون میتونن یک چیز خیلی زیبا یا چند تا چیز خیلی زیبایی که بدونن که خب این یه کار ارزشمنده چون ببرن خونه هاشون.
شما هم که میبینن ژیان جان؟
من که گفتم غذا اونجاست، من اونجا هستم and the art of course. خیلی خوشحالم که thank you for coming on the show and talking about one of the reasons why I wanted to have you guys here is because I like what the spirit of what you're doing. But you know, people are watching and listening to us all over the world and certainly all over North America. Is this an idea that you can travel with? Have you talked about that, Arezoo, to do RAAVI in Vancouver or in San Diego or in London?
I hope.
Sure. We already today morning I already got very beautiful message from 2 artists in Montreal, and they said when you are coming to Montreal, okay, let's we finish this one.
It's a great idea.
Yeah,
why
then
not?
later. Yeah.
Thank you. Merci.
مرسی از شما.
ولی واقعا خیلی خوب میشه که هممون یاد بگیریم همدیگه رو حمایت کنیم، پشت همدیگه باشیم. مخصوصا بازم میگم هنرمندا رو، چون واقعا خیلی کارشون سخته، خیلی سخته و پشت هم باشیم. ما میتونیم یه جامعه خیلی بزرگ اینجا بر خودمون درست کنیم، یه جامعه خیلی موفق.
Right on. مرسی.
مرسی از شما.
مرسی.
All right. Thank you to the team of RAAVI for being here and looking forward to your event on September 7th. Thank you so much to DJ Al. And thank you to all of you for joining us. And remember, earlier in the show, we made the announcement, Rook Live 5 happening October 2nd here in the Greater Toronto area at the Richmond Hill Centre for the Performing Arts. Babak Amini, Shali Zomarodi, Namito Kabe Yagmai, Dr. Mashad Koladuzon, Navid Rezvani, Rubina, and more. All happening October 2nd. Tickets go on sale next Monday. And there's an early bird special for the first 24 hours. 9 a.m. Monday, Toronto time, Eastern time. Remember to get your tickets for Rook Live 5. Thank you. This is full time for Rook for today, by the way. Thank you to the amazing team who put this show together each week. Talented Anahita. Hope you feel better. Tina, the photo and video queen. Savvy. Roham. Increasingly known for his excellent graphics. Super P. Parisa Sanjarani. Special thanks as well to Charming Kimia, the CK, Smart Pega, Methodical Kave, and thanks to the TRK, the Rising Keon, for your help. Thank you to all of you out there for supporting us and sharing our content. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already on any or all of our platforms. It is free to subscribe. You can find the show at Rook Media on Instagram, especially if you want updates about Rook Live 5, etc. You can find me on Instagram at Jian Ghomeshi. And as ever, remember, Mizun Bashin.